What's going on, guys? Tyler here from Don'tPanicDoThis.com, the site all about helping you to beat your panic attacks and anxiety. And today what I have for you guys, I bought something called the AluBall Kava Maker, which is made by a company called Kavafied. And basically what it is the world's first kava maker, kava ball strainer type thing. So it's kind of like a protein shaker. I don't know if you guys have seen those before, but it has a strainer ball inside. So it's really good for making things like ice brewed coffee or tea or, kava ideally. So in this video, I want to talk a little bit about what it is and I want to review it with you guys. And I'm actually very excited to do this particular review because I've been wanting to use this for a while now, but I didn't want to get the bottle all dirty and used up for the video, so I want it to be clean. So I'm really excited to actually get this video done with and out of the way so I can enjoy some of this kava and actually be able to use this shaker bottle now. So in this video, I'm going to go over some of the pros and cons of this particular shaker bottle for kava, as well as talking about I want to show you guys exactly how to use it and just some of the pros and cons and whether or not it might be a good investment for you. So let's get right into that. I want to talk a little bit about first what kava is. I think most of you guys here, if you're watching a kava shaker review, you probably already know what kava is. On top of that, I already have a whole other video on YouTube or on my website, Don'tPanicDoThis.com, that goes into all the details of kava and using kava for symptoms of anxiety and stuff like that. So if you don't already know what kava is, you should check those videos and that article out. Otherwise, I'll just give you a quick rundown, real basic, real quick. Kava is a root from the pepper plant called kava. It's a plant that you take the roots of it, you grind them up, and you strain them out. And this is traditionally done in the Polynesian islands to create a sort of mildly intoxicating drink. To me, it feels something like being somewhere in between like an alcoholic drink and maybe like a subtle marijuana buzz type high. It's somewhere in between, but it's subtle. It's not something, it's not super powerful or anything like that, in my opinion. But then again, I don't ever really drink a ton of it the way I have with stuff like alcohol in the past. But yeah, so that's basically what kava is, and that's why people drink kava, for those nice sedative effects that they get from something like alcohol. Although it's important to mention that you are never to mix kava with alcohol. If you do that, you're gonna feel very, very bad and have some very bad side effects, most likely as well. If any of you guys have never had kava before, it might be worth looking up in your city if there is a kava bar nearby. I know where I am, there's actually a few kava bars nearby, and that's a pretty cool experience just in general to get the full culture of it and just to see if kava's for you. It's usually a really ambient setting, like a cafe and bar type mix. Really, really cool. I recommend anybody check it out. I always say that's an awesome first date spot or something like that because these kava bars are popping up, but a lot of people still don't even know what kava is, and I think that kava is going to gain more popularity in the United States over time, so it's definitely worth checking out just to see if you like it. And if you do, then I think that this is an awesome product, because obviously it's going to be a lot cheaper to make your own kava from home as opposed to buying it at the bar. Buying a kava drink at the bar will typically run you something like maybe $10 for one drink of kava. It's a cool atmosphere, but it is a bit overpriced, sort of like any sort of regular bar. But doing it from home, it typically costs, I was just comparing the prices of some different companies, it typically costs about $1 per drink as opposed to paying $10 per drink at the bar. So it's the same deal as with an alcoholic beverage, same sort of price differentiation between drinking at home versus drinking at the bar. So taking a look at the bottle real quick, it's pretty obvious. It's got a really cool design. It's actually a Polynesian-owned company, which I think is awesome. And it's got some bright green colors, a lot of Polynesian design on the box, which is really cool. And yeah, so just looking at it, it's a cool, stylish type bottle, which makes it almost worth drinking out of just for the cool design. But let's take a look and let's actually try this out. I'm gonna try it out for the first time with you guys, show you how to use it, and let's see if it actually lives up to the hype. Okay, so included in the box is a couple of different instructions for how to steep tea, brew cold brew coffee, or brew kava using the AluBall Kava shaker. So we're gonna do that. It's just a couple of steps. The first step is to add 1 to 2 tablespoons of kava to the AluBall. So I've already taken out the ball here, and now we're gonna put some kava powder in. So let's do this. Got one here. Got two here. We're gonna do two instead of one because I'm living on the edge over here. Oh, I shouldn't have put it in both sides because now I have to close it fast. Okay, there we go. All right, so just gonna lock that in place. So pretty cool. You can see the ball here, guys. There's a sort of mesh that keeps it in, so I guess that's gonna help to strain it once we get the water in. So I'm just gonna seal this up tight, put this in here. And the next step is to add 1 to 3 cups of room temperature water to the Alu bottle. Use less water for more concentrated shells of kava. Okay, I'm gonna do 3 just because I did 2 scoops of the kava powder, so I'm gonna do 3 scoops, 3 cups of water. All right, so that's 1. Now I have to go get 2 more. And that's 2 and 3. And then we just have to shake it for 30 seconds. So, make sure the lid is on tight. Anyone who's ever used a protein shaker bottle knows that you don't want to make that mistake and keep your finger on this thing. Cap. I don't really know how rough you're supposed to be with it, but I would be probably pretty rough with it just to make sure you get all those cavalactones out. I don't know how many seconds that is. That's for sure 30 seconds at least. But yeah, so that's it. And now we're done shaking it. Let's see how it tastes. Kava never tastes good. So anyone who hasn't had kava before, if you've seen me like have a bad expression, it's because it tastes like mud. But that's not this particular brand of kava. That's just kava in general. So, bula. Yep, tastes like kava. No, honestly, not bad. I mean, I did put 3 cups of water. I'm sure it'd be a lot stronger if I only did 1. But not bad. As far as kava goes, pretty good taste. So let's see how we feel in a couple of minutes, I guess. So now you can see, obviously, I finished the kava in the AluBall shaker, and I do have some thoughts to share with you. The kava itself, like I said, it was from AluBall. It came as a starter kit that I'll tell you guys a little bit more about later on in case you want to get the same starter kit I did. But it's from the same company that makes this. They also produce their own kava, and I bought it from them. And it was good. I mean, it's kava. If you've had kava before, you know that it's not a particularly delicious taste. It's kind of like a tingly mud water. So if I were to do anything differently, I would probably have less water actually, and I'd rather just have more of a concentrated, maybe like 1 cup. That way I could just wash it back like a shot, because it's not particularly delicious. You don't really want to have maybe 3 cups of water unless you're like drinking it over a longer period of time throughout the day. I kind of just threw that back, but that's all. If you might prefer to have a little bit less and throw it back, or you might prefer to have a little bit more and pace it throughout the day or something like that. But I definitely already feel it. I finished it a couple of minutes ago, and my lips are still a little bit numb from it. Just like a mild, if you've had it before, you know, it's like a mild numbness that you'll get on your lips and maybe even a little bit in your mouth. But I feel that a little bit. I definitely am already feeling like more relaxed and wanting to be a little bit more sociable right now. Definitely feel good. Like after I'm done with this video, I'm probably gonna just chill and vibe out to some music for a little while because I'm feeling nice already. So I want to talk a little bit now about some of the pros and cons that I would say in this product and whether or not it might be for you. So some of the pros, let's start with that. There's definitely a lot of good pros for this product. The first thing I want to say is it's a really cheap investment. Like I said, if you're drinking kava, especially on a regular basis, it's going to cost you at a kava bar like $10 or so. Now, I don't want to tell you not to go to a kava bar because I think kava bars are awesome. Definitely support your local kava bar, but it's not something like a regular bar. Bars are awesome too, but you don't want to have spend all, you know, we pregame for a reason before we go to the bars. I think Kava's the same thing. It's going to be expensive if you buy it in-house at a Kava bar, as opposed to just making some Kava drinks on your own. Especially if you're just having a chill day, relaxing at home, it's definitely way more cost effective to just invest real quick. Like I said, it's like $1 per drink. It kind of evens out to, if you look at all the different brands, about $1 per drink of a Kava drink if you're making it on your own using a shaker like this, as opposed to like $10 a drink if you're buying it at the bar itself pre-made. So definitely an awesome cheap investment. I think I paid for this whole little kit here, I think I paid about $25. Whenever you see this video, it might be more, it might be less. The products might change a little bit, I'm not sure. But I think AluBall also sells the strainer ball by itself, so even if you're trying to save a little bit of money, you can do that by using a regular protein bottle and just putting the strainer inside it. I think that would probably work fine too. But I mean, I think the bottle's really cool. It's got that like cool Polynesian island green to it. I like it. So I would definitely just recommend getting the whole thing, especially because it includes some starter Kava for you as well that you can give it a try. Like I said, super easy to use, really cheap investment, and you're going to save money on Kava in the long term, especially if you're drinking it on a regular basis. You can also drink it on the go, and just having that option, you know, maybe you're having a little bit of stress at work. I think most jobs, as long as you're not operating heavy machinery or something like that, it's probably okay to drink Kava for, but obviously use your best judgment. The cons of the product, the only thing I can really think of right now would be that you do miss out a little bit on the ambiance of being at a Kava bar. Like I said, being at a Kava bar is a really cool experience, so I do recommend everybody check one out at least once. Just go to your local Kava bar and see how you like it and see the proper way to actually shoot Kava back. But you know, that con is kind of negated by the fact that, at least right now when I'm filming this video, this is in the middle of the whole pandemic and everything, so that social aspect of a Kava bar is kind of null and void right now anyway. So that's the only thing I would say, but as of right now, this is overwhelmingly a very good investment from my perspective. Now, some alternatives to this particular product. This is the AluBall, I guess just the regular AluBall Kava Maker. I don't see any other designation on it, the first Kava Maker. Are there alternatives to it? I did look online a little bit, and it seems that the AluBall by Kavafied is currently the first and only Kava shaker bottle on the market right now. From what I've seen, I don't know if there are others. I'm sure there's other things that will work, but the strainer ball is really cool. I'm assuming I have to dump out what's left in the ball itself and clean it, but it's a really cool little invention. I assume that Kavafied has a patent on it, so I don't necessarily know that other people will be coming out with exactly the same thing. I would think that they probably have a patent and it's their unique product. But some other AluBall products might work better for you than this particular bottle. I know that they do have an AluBall Pro Kava Maker, which is a little different. I think it's a little bit bigger. It might be made out of different material, and I think that the top of it kind of doubles as like a half shell coconut, because traditionally you do drink Kava out of a half shell coconut. However, I don't necessarily think that it's a better product. I looked at them both, and I just really prefer the look of this one. And I know it's kind of silly, but I don't know. I like the font. I like the color. It reminds me of, like, I don't know, like an island vibe, like kind of natural, a plant. I like all the green and I like stuff like that. So maybe you'll prefer the Pro version, but I actually do think this one looks cooler. So I'm going to stick with my little regular AluBall shaker, especially because that's the one that had the package deal that also comes with the Kava itself. So I don't think, I mean, I think either one is fine. I'll link to some options below, but this is a great way to go. I don't necessarily think that you need the Pro version. I think I prefer this one. And that's pretty much all I have for you guys today. Ultimately, I definitely can recommend the AluBall Kava Maker by Kavafied. It's a great product. You saw how easy it was to use. The Kava, I feel it in full effect right now. I already feel like I'm talking more than I have to be, which is definitely a side of Kava. And like I said, really cool, really easy to use. I actually made it look harder to use than it is because I was putting Kava on both sides of the ball, which probably doesn't make sense. And then I took multiple trips to the sink to get water for this. But, you know, really intuitive, really easy. I will definitely be using this in the future. I'm happy this video is done and out of the way so that now I can actually use the bottle. Like I said, guys, I really like this product. I think it's really cool, intuitive, simple to use, and ultimately gonna save you money in the long run, especially if you drink a lot of kava over a long period of time. So let me hear from you guys. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe if this was interesting or helpful to you. And I would love to hear from you if you have this product, how you like it, or if there's any alternatives that you prefer. Don't forget to let us know. Thank you so much for sticking to the end, guys. I will see you next time.